Live from the studios of Real Life Matters with your incredible host, DBoss, as she brings you entertainment, fashion, music, and interviews right here live at Real Life Matters. And here we go. Sit back and relax, cause we good to go. And we about to hit you off with the TV show. And we keeping it live, and we keep it brand new. And now we about to hit you with the interview. Yeah, we keeping it real, and we put it on the platter. What we talking about? Real Life Matters. Certified, never taking a loss. And here's your host, DBoss.
Welcome, everybody, to another great episode of Real Life Matters. And of course, it's yours truly, DBoss. And I was just going to tell you that it's not too late to make all your resolutions for last year that you put down. You're in the third month. You got to the end of the year. So make sure you got everything finalized. And it's the final thing that you're going to do so that you could succeed and walk and do what you're supposed to do. All right. And everybody also, don't forget to do your 10 minutes or more of laughing, your laughing tips. I know everybody's had great success with that. You know, people have inboxed me and told me about it, and it continues on because it can keep you youthful. It keeps you, so take some weight, a little bit of weight off your abs because when you're laughing, but, you know, still go to the gym. Don't stop that with, you know, just stop that because some people have a little bit more abs than others. So, you know, you can still continue on. Also, it's free. It's good for the whole family. And don't say that you don't have anybody to laugh with because there's all types of streaming, something that you know that's going to be funny. And it's going to hurt if you go for 10 minutes or more, but that's okay because that's releasing all those bad endorphins that are in your body. It's releasing those toxins out. So, well, anyways, today we got a special person here in the studio. And he's going to be, he's done a lot of stuff. He's in the community. We're going to find out his journey, what he's done, what he hasn't done, what he would want to do better, all that juicy stuff that everybody wants to know. And we're going to find out how he started, where he came from, the whole 9 yards. So with no further ado, I have the founder of Friends in Toronto Community Services, which is FITCS, which is FITCS. And with no further ado, let's get right into it with Antonius Clarke.
Hey, a pleasant evening to you, DBoss. How are you?
I'm good. You?
I am fantastic. Can't complain. Happy to
You
be
can't
here.
complain. I love it. You can't complain. You can't complain about anything
I won't
today.
change anything.
All right. Okay. Here at Real Life Matters, we like to know where people's cultural background and where they come from. So can you tell us, Antonius, where you come from?
I come from my mother and my father. I think that's the most important thing for me to always resonate with because I really appreciate them. But my parents are from St. Lucia and St. Vincent and eloped and had me in Barbados. So I see myself as a CARICOM baby, Bayesian, Vinci, Lucian, Canadian.
That's wonderful. And also he was out in people where I'm from out west in Saskatchewan.
Yeah, I spent a few weeks and months over there with my older brother. He was doing installation, and I was blessed with spending some time in that wonderful space. I see how roads can actually ice over in the winter. Something spectacular.
Yeah, they're spectacular winters over here. We're crying, but they're
weathered.
The weather is not like over here, but we've been having some real torrential weather over here too. So in a long time. Okay, so let me say we're going to step back. When did you want to start? Before you started FITCS, how did you start before you came into FITCS?
Oh, I think that I never got a chance to think. I was just from school to the field, you know. I literally just continued on from what I was mentored through. I had awesome mentors growing up. I think a lot of times we take for granted how much investment is put into us and how many people pull energy into us. I had great mentors. I had great people in my village growing up. And my mom was being one of those people who made sure she kept me on the straight and narrow path, even though I deviated from it. So I would say it's the local organizers, my local teachers, my preacher, my pastor, everybody pulled into me and gave me the inspiration to proceed as I did.
Okay. All right. So what made you want to start this organization that you're in right now?
It's the need. It's a mixture of the need that was there, the demand, as well as the exhaustion of explanation. So often when I worked with other groups, I found that it was exhausting to explain my culture, explain my needs. And then there was more of a research lens approach, because a lot of people want to figure you out more. And all the time that we are spending researching, we're dying. The community is in need. So I figured maybe I could bridge the gap, eliminate some of the need for research by stepping up to the plate and adding value, by just sitting at the table and being the voice that had additional value.
Okay, so what were your needs that they didn't address?
Good question. I guess my needs was our community needs. It's basically validation for some sorts, right? Initially, when I started out, I wanted to feel valid. I wanted to feel accepted. I wanted to be a part of the decision-making process, or where change was going to be made. But as time progressed, it was no longer validity. It was more or less respect, and I think that's overlooked often. But getting the respect results in getting the resources, because at the end of the day, there's nothing you can do without the resources to make change. A lot of people go out there and make a lot of noise or a lot of great effort, but it only goes as far as the resource of passion or the resource of currency that would help you carry forward your great work.
Okay, so if you have to break down in a nutshell, but I know it's a big nut, like what you do. Okay, so you probably got this part and this part, because what we're trying to do is try to get the support so the people in the community can come to you, or people outside of the community knows exactly what your direction, so they can also come and assist you in this.
Yeah. So would you give me that question again?
Okay.
Yes.
What is your community about? Like, you have different parts of FITCS.
Yeah. So essentially the major thing that it's community development, human development. Initially, we started with wanting to break the cycle of poverty and the ills that stem from it. And it's vague because you need to be somewhat vague for issues that constantly change. At this point, we focus really keenly on restorative justice and access to restorative justice. But that's where our program and services are. On the back burner, so to speak, the organization does a lot more on advocacy and economic development, right? So finding the room and the space to really change the dynamics of always being dependent on, let's say, funding, right? Writing grants is exhausting, and not getting grants means that there's no resources to do the work. So the organization has a dichotomy of the service and programs, but at the same time on building a platform that can actually change the situation that we're in by being able to create some sustainable economic action, as well as advocating for anti-racism and access to restorative justice and such. So it's okay. A lot. Like you said, it's a big elephant to bite into a lot of pieces, a big nut to crack, but definitely you got to know how to take the macro and make it a micro.
Okay, so from the government, have you received any type of assistance to help you out? And everybody else needs more assistance, but have you received anything so far? Because this show here, a lot of people watch, and you just want to be able to reach, like, if you need that assistance, they can come and reach out to you.
I love that. Yes, the government has supported us over the years. We've gone from getting municipal support. I remember the first grant we got, I think it was to do a comic book called POW, Products of Welfare. And it was a play on prisoner of war of a sort. But yeah, that was a very long time ago. We got funds from the provincial government, the United Way, Ontario Trillium, but we've also had some challenges in terms of the spaces that we've been in and being able to access more resources. But all of that has come to a better space. Most recently, we've been awarded just in the tune of $500,000 from the federal government the Youth Justice Department to be specific, to run a project called the Circle of Change Restorative Justice for young people between the ages of 12 and 16 in conflict with the law. And we essentially use healing circles, indigenous informed healing circles, to engage youth and families, to build back the capacity to endure the process together, and access the additional wraparound services that they would require to get on the straight and narrow path, so to speak. On the other side of that, we've been most recently funded by the National Crime Prevention Department to do a project that's called Keep Six Ambassadors. And essentially, it's an evolution of the healing circles and now into the more adult population. So from 12 to 29, and again, still using the same conflict resolution approach, healthy life skills and decision making, but with an accent on entrepreneurship and financial literacy. Essentially, this works within the jails or within institutions, and it also works within the communities. So it's a sort of working with people where they are at and helping them get to where they need to go.
Okay, so do you visit the jails, or are you dealing with them if they come out of jail, or
Yeah,
to
absolutely both, DBoss. If I wasn't articulating myself clear enough, we work within the institution and we
Okay.
work with people outside of the institutions.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, now everybody's finding to get a little piece of the nuts now.
Right, I get it. I get it. I really
So,
get it.
okay.
As long as we're not allergic, we should be fine.
Okay. Well, they don't have to eat nuts. They can take some fruit.
Yes,
Or put in the fruits, right?
that's
But not
right.
the bad fruit, the good fruit.
Absolutely.
All right. So, okay. So you're dealing with that, with those and those two aspects of it is some very, it's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
A lot to deal with people, all types of personalities, and so do you have the staff to facilitate that, to help, or is it just yourself doing it, or how is it work?
The good people are hard to find. I find that to be something that I can't stress, and overlooking the commitment that I've made over the years, it makes me often, thank the heavens, for existing, so to speak. But yes, there is a staff team, and my challenge right now is duplicating myself, let's say, and I try. I'm very poor at that, right? I can't duplicate me. I try now to be like a talent scout, right? So I'm looking for talent in people, and then we're doing this orientation and training to healing circles, right? So essentially, everybody, no matter how much great skills they have coming through the door, we want to make them really go through the basics of body language, of etiquette, of how to maintain a safe space for conversations and whatnot. So we do have facilitators. The new funds that we've gotten from the National Crime Prevention Team allows us to actually get social workers as well, which I'm totally excited about, because now we could do some in-house work that's really good for case management. So yeah, we do have a team, and we are growing constantly.
Okay. All right. No, because we're just trying to get a better understanding of what you do. This is why we ask the question, so everybody can know. Okay, so where can they fit into the scope of what you do, so they know what they're supposed to do.
Understood.
So, it's a lot of wording, but it came out the right way. All right. So, okay. Besides those 2 to 3 aspects, what else do you do?
Yeah, that part. Again, when I say human development and community development, I mean that vaguely. We're still landing the plane, right? So other things that we do a lot of small business development. So there's a lot of young people, a lot of people in the community that have a sole proprietorship or have a vision and don't know what to do with it. We have prized ourselves over the years in supporting others in ensuring that they could access the know-how and the support they may require to putting together a small business and getting on their way, right? We also, a lot of the work that we're doing at this point now is really doing advocacy for other people who have been going through hard times of needing to access justice, needing to advocate for, I guess, challenges that they faced where they have suffered from racism or a lack of justice. So it's literally like a whole different animal, right? From the programming space to now the advocacy for other community leaders and community members. And the other part of that is, which I'm super excited about, is duplicating the organization in other regions, right? So we are currently working on having chapters in South Africa, having chapters in St. Lucia, that would allow us to use the work that we're doing here in Canada regarding restorative justice to empower, or better yet, to enrich, to inspire restorative justice globally. I'm a big Canadian fan. I think Canadians need to be on the map more. And I think that with me getting the support that I have from the Canadian government now to be sort of a champion for restorative justice, that I really want to take that beyond our borders, beyond our province. But I can't overlook the importance of the work that we need to do right here at home locally.
Okay. All right. So, and behind you, we see a lot of artwork. Is that something that you do too?
Yes. Oh, I am a curator, if I could be so kind to myself. So I would like to imagine that I collect artwork from the motherland, and one day I could share it with us Canadians. It's actually something that I've been working on called the AIR exhibit. Excuse me. And the AIR exhibit stands for African Indigenous Relics. So I like to imagine the air is light. So the exhibition is supposed to showcase culture and help to bridge heritage and bonds for racialized people and people across the world.
Wow. Okay. Is there any other nut?
I think being wise means you got to save some for later.
Because that's 5 nuts, people. 5.
Oh, right. Oh my goodness. I like 6. So let's just keep going. We may get one more out of it. You lead me.
You go ahead. I'm waiting for you to tell us what the 6th one is.
The 6th. Oh, you're the greatest. I didn't realize. The 6th one would be needing to mature. I think needing to mature the work. You mature as a people. You mature as an individual. You mature as a community. But then the organization maturing, for me, it's really looking at what fundraising looks like and what fundraising means. Because, all businesses sell something, right? A business is not a business if it's not selling something and being able to evaluate how good sales are. Our challenge is we weren't ever selling anything. We don't sell a button. We don't have a Girl Scout cookie or Boy Scout cookie, for better reference. We have nothing, right? All we do is support, and we never ask our clients or our members to pay for anything. So being able to now, in the 2026 year of the horse, look at what fundraising look like and look at how our platform can actually really face forward at making sustainability our lighthouse or the cornerstone, I'm really excited about. So I can't say today exactly what we're going to be unveiling in the next few, but I'm certainly saying that the
few meaning what? Few meaning months?
No,
or
I would be crazy to say months or weeks at this point. I'm just realizing that though there's so much work with the current project at hand, and life is so interesting that I don't want to put a timeline on this one just as yet. I really need to see how the team pulls together and how our joint capacity helps to deliver the payload, so to speak. So I'm just going to say that the big piece at this point is fundraising.
Okay. That's what I was going to get to. You got in there.
All right. I guess I'm leading right into it.
So fundraising people, that's a big thing. So the fundraising, so what type of fundraising? Because, some people ask for money. Yes, it's the big one. But some people think, maybe you can give in other ways. So What type of fundraising do you need, Antonius, for your organization?
It's a question that I am not even prepared to answer. Because I skipped the door to door. I skipped the, hey, donate to FIT era. It's the basic thing to do. I grew up in the church, right? And my pastor or the church never allowed us to leave without asking for an offering. As some in the beginning, the middle, and the end. Some were just, modest and just at the end. All of that to say, we're not a church, right? And you're not a religious organization, but you are here to do human development in a different way. you have to learn to give the big ask. So I haven't been able to land that plane. So the fundraising that we want to do will not be the typical, hey, donate to fit always. It'll be part of the way, but I'm looking at something more structured, something more sophisticated, something more long-term, something that could compound interest and allow the dividends to support the work that we're doing. One has to be very, I guess, studied. One has to do a lot of research, and I'm so limited in my capacity to research at times. I've learned to just be friends with smarter people, right? So there's someone else out there that dedicated their life to financial literacy and whatnot. I'm looking at studying with those people, presenting my ideas, and getting their counsel in terms of what I could structure moving forward, so that the community could have something that's really, dependable, not a fly-by-night, not a wish, but something scientific that one could count on, almost like the law.
Okay. All right. So you need funding to help do what you're going to do. So you need a lot of marketing. You need a lot of things so people can know about your organization, because maybe people don't know about it. So you need to be out there. Thank goodness you're on my show. Yes, people are going to know about you now. Yeah. And, and more, and they're going to ask me, well, DBoss, are you helping him? And I'm like, well, you know what? We can only help. I only can help as much as I can go, right? So, a lot of people are going to be like, ask me those questions, because this is what I do. So, and when you help, and you have to break down different aspects. Okay, what are you fundraising for now? Which one are you doing? You're going to be doing first.
That's a wonderful
yes.
That's a wonderful way of breaking it to me, because you know what? The now is always available. Currently, if anyone wants to support the work that we're doing, whether it be on a capital, funding us at our core, or funding us at a specific space where you want to help restorative justice, for example, you could go to Canada Helps. And when you go to Canada Helps, you could type in Friends in Toronto Community Services, and you could literally support us in a very small way, or a very modest way, or a meaningful way that way. And that's going to always be something that we do in the interim. Again, it becomes exhausting, but always going out there and saying, fund me, fund me, fund me. So I really do appreciate the way that
if you don't ask, you don't get, right?
Yeah, that's why I really appreciate the way that you're helping me compartmentalize and phase this thing out, right? So we do need support in every little way, in every small gesture. It goes a very long way for the things that we could actually afford as an organization moving forward. So if anyone wants to help, they can actually go to Canada Helps and support us that way. If there's a specific cause that they would like us to support and work out, they could speak to us and make that specific request, for an instance. And generally, we are doing a lot of grant writing, right? So if there's any department guys out there that know that they have grants, or they want to help us access more, we love information. Information sharing makes the world go round. And a lot of people that we work with in our entrepreneurship development, we also refer them to small grants and whatnot, right? So the Canada Helps is the best way that anyone that wants to support us in the interim or the immediate way can actually help us. And like I alluded to earlier, we're also working on something more long-term and more structured. And I'm looking forward to sharing that with everybody. And I am definitely going to be back here to speak to you about it more specifically.
People invited himself in here. No, I'm just joking. Yeah, he can
okay for the team. Once we know we're doing it, we're with you.
Right. Well, no, it's okay, because you will come back. And this is things that people have to understand. When it doesn't matter if you are a charity, an organization, somebody that's starting up. You always need people that know what they're doing in the industry to bring you out, because probably a lot of people out there never heard of your organization.
Absolutely.
And yes, you might think, oh, everybody should know it, but a lot of people don't.
Right.
So this is why you come on here, because to let people know what all your pieces of the nut are in what you do, because it's not just one thing you do. It's not like, okay, I'm just selling, I'm selling underwear, for example.
Right.
That's all. That's it. I'm just starting undergarments and that's it. But you're not doing that. You're selling more things in the community, which is community driven. And you'll get those people in the community that want to support you in the community once they see you more in the community, which you guys are already there. But then others will say, oh, yeah, we know yeah, we heard that. We heard of that. Yeah, and of course they're going to hear of it over here on my show. So, and they're going to hear of it from people putting you out there. And it's the network, so sometimes when you go to a bigger network of persons, maybe I don't say nothing, I don't toot my horn, but a lot of people know what I do and what I've done for people and organizations. So it's, you have to link with the white people and be able to understand what's going on and how they're going to move you out there.
Understood.
Because it's not my first rodeo. I've been doing things from way back with the tourism office, the hotels, and back in the 90s. So this is, I know exactly what you're looking for and what you want to deal with. So, Antonius, we're now people are going to know, okay, this is what this organization is in Canada, FITCS. And now they're going to understand a little bit where you was. Okay, this is the person who's behind it, Antonius Clarke.
Right.
Have you seen him before? Maybe a lot of people know, but now you're seeing him now, people. I'm just talking to you at home, and you're looking at someone who wants to make a change with the youth and the youth that have been in problems and stuff and get them into the right direction, which not just only you, there's a lot of people all over in the Caribbean that's doing this also to get them the need where they help. Like my cousin, Jeffrey Boss, is the president of Barbados, and he's starting up something. He's already starting and putting in place something like what you're doing in here. So, once people get to know what you're about and what you're doing, then they understand fully how to support you.
Absolutely.
And it's not to be shy and to be to ask the question, listen, I need help. How can they help me get money?
Absolutely understood.
And it's not, and it's not to feel, oh gosh, I don't want to ask. It's the question you have to ask. It's not salesy. It's not but you need help. And if you don't say the question, people are going to think that you're okay.
It's mandatory. Absolutely. I understand you loud and clear.
Yeah. You need help, but sometimes you got to put a little something out to get the help, and then you're be there. Some people can help, but then they can't help. They say they can do this and that, but then when they turn around, it was just a lot of mouth.
Right.
A lot of talk. And I know you've caught those people too. So, and you've come up on those people. They say, oh, yeah, Antonius, we can do this. Oh, yeah, Mr. Clarke. Yeah. And then the time comes, okay, can you do? Oh, I didn't think it was going to be like that.
Absolutely.
So this is what we're saying on the show here today. So, people that want to, he says to you can go to Canada. Was it Canada Helps? Is that just for you only, or is that's
for anyone that, Canada Helps is a general platform that supports organizations like FIT, right? So we are one of many that use the Canada Helps platform to get access to funds and fundraising. So anyone that wants to fundraise or want to support us directly, they could find us on the Canada Helps platform. Okay.
All right. So I know you want to see the organization bust.
Yeah.
But it's going to take consistency, people seeing your name all the time, not just seeing it once in a while. You got to see it in their face. Then they're going to be like, what is this about? Why do I keep seeing this in my face all the time?
Right.
Let me go down there. Let me go see what's going on down there. Because once you're in their face all the time, then people tend to react. And then that's when they say, you know what? Let me get down there and see what's going on. Let me come to where his building is or where his office is. Let me go down there and see what's going on. It doesn't matter if it's a 2x4 or 4x4 or wherever, they will get in their car and drive.
Exactly. That is the key. Marketing.
Mm-hmm. And then also, you just don't want to be there. Yes, you want to empower other people, but they have to see the empowerment through you.
Absolutely.
which you're doing, but maybe you just need a little more,
whatever that little more is.
A little more, and don't stretch yourself out, because one hand can't clap,
Of course.
You gotta work with people. You gotta direct people. That's how leaders work, And yet sometimes it's a lonely world up there, as you know, and you gotta be able to, sustain that. And sometimes you gotta go to the higher power and ask direction and see, well, what do I do? I need more oil today. I need more oil to understand what I'm supposed to do. And this is and those things come in time, and when you're growing and you're learning the same time, because every day I say to myself, I learn something every single day. My mind is open. If you have your mind closed, you're not going to receive anything.
Absolutely not. That's a fact.
So with your organization, people, you could reach out, to Antonius. I'm pretty sure he's willing to, talk to you, or he'll send somebody from his side of his team that can speak to you if you want to get involved. And obviously donations are all appreciated from every way. So he will tell you which one, if you want to just help everything overall, is the nut, you can do that. If you want to take a piece of the nut, as he says, you can work and see which one you want. And, and it's going for a good cause, as you see. Sometimes you see people now, they're asking for help. And now they're going to get the help. And then they're going to see you out there and they're going to help. Because they see you as somebody in the community, because that's what they're seeing you now. And, and that's how it is. I'm sorry, sometimes on an interview, it gets a little more intense.
No, I'm fine. I think we're doing great there. We're not intense at all.
than other places, right? Yeah. So you're taking this organization ahead. So when will you know that you have reached there?
At this point, I don't think we seek that. Having life is a privilege, and just being able to wake up every day, to me, is the boon. In terms of the work, it always gets there. Like every time I help somebody in the most little way, I feel that I've gotten there. I think in what I'm trying to achieve, though, to be specific, you want to get to a place of auto or self-sustainability, right? Where you're no longer asking yourself, are we going to have funds next year, right? So I will know I've reached there when we are able to achieve that space of thinking.
Okay. All right. So is there anything else going on that that you want to tell us, or you could just tell us your social medias and where they can reach you if they want to give? I know you said Canada helps, but in case people don't want to physically talk to you.
Yeah, so we can reach at Fit Communities. I believe our Instagram is at Fit Communities. We're going to get a bit more active soon, so we can start sharing a lot more of our work. Our website is www.fitcs.ca. Like I said, I think this is just the beginning. I want everyone to know that we have this beautiful opportunity to advance more access to restorative justice via the Keep Six program, as well as the Circle of Change Restorative Justice program. These two programs to me are amazing, and definitely a bit more life breathing into them only allows us to do great work and reach more young people. So in any regard, what's to come will definitely ask for more time from you to share. But where we are currently, that's what I really want to let people know, that FITCS out here doing the work. We are fighting and standing against anti-racism, access to restorative justice. So on the front lines, we're adding value by doing that programming. And on the back end, we're doing more of the advocacy and supporting individuals in the community who need support. And that's what we're doing.
All right. Well, of course, Antonius Clarke is going to be back here, and he's going to be, we're going to getting updates of how he's doing, because I'm going to hold him accountable.
I appreciate it. That's what family does, and that's what a team.
I'm going to hold him accountable, and my eyes going to be on you.
Appreciate that. That's keep your eyes on me. I promise you I'll do my best.
All right. Well, everybody, I do want to thank you here for tuning in with Antonius Clarke. FITCS, you know, you guys, it's his journey is well, his journey was started a while, but his journey now is really going to push forward. So you guys get out there and support. You know, people are always saying, oh, I wonder what can help. Well, you can get out there and help people here at this organization. They have different things. You could see where you fit, and maybe you want to help personally involve yourself with giving money and all that too. You could be a part of it. I'm pretty sure he's not going to refuse you. You know, that's all. All right.
Much appreciated.
All right. So I do want to, everybody, thanks for tuning in tonight here. Come on now. You guys got to go out there, search, go do your research, pull it up, see what's going on. And good night and bye for now.
All right, join us next time at Real Life Matters with your host, DBoss, as she bring you some more entertainment, fashion, music, and interviews right here on Real Life Matters. We got to go. Okay, that's it, we got to go. And we just hit you off with a TV show. And we kept it hot, and we kept it brand new. And we just hit you off with an interview. And we kept it real, and we put it on the platter. Talking about that real life matters. Certified, never taking a loss. And that was your host, DBoss.